Man United versus Spurs this week just feels like a headline maker in the making. Both managers had, let's say, unsatisfactory results on match day one. Beating Wolves 1-0 in the first game of the season is not the standard that Man United fans expected from Erik Ten Hag's Man United 7.0 or whatever it might be. But they got the job done, but not in remarkable style. But for match day one, maybe that's just about pass marks. And for Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur, a 2-each draw with Brentford does not even begin to tell the tale. The front three were pretty woeful without Harry Kane up there, but the softest penalty you've ever seen given against Tottenham, and they lost their key centre-back like 18 minutes into the game down to like concussion protocol or something. So coming into match day two, both managers, both teams I've got a lot to prove. It's not just points on the board, but it's style of play, it's the direction the clubs are moving in, and, you know, what are the outstanding pieces of the puzzle that both clubs need to fit in the remainder of this transfer window. I'll be previewing where I think this game is going to be won and lost, along with a little score prediction. Drop in the comment section down below how you think this match is going to go, where will it be won and lost, and ultimately, who is going to win it. At any point in the video, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 10,000 subscribers and we cannot do that without your support. So if you enjoy the content here, then please do hit the subscribe button for more content like this, hit the like button, and like I say, jump into the comment section and get involved in the content. And let's just get stuck into it. Now, I don't think there's going to be too much change in the starting 11s that we've seen from both teams last week. There's not been any significant transfer business. I think Christian Romero is probably going to be clear for this. And otherwise for Man United, I'm not too sure where Rasmus Højlund is, but he's definitely not in any of the predicted teams, so I don't think he's going to feature or figure in this match significantly at all. This match is going to be about further integration for the likes of Onana, Mason Mount, Mickey van de Ven, maybe even Destiny Udogie, who's a new face into the party, as it were, and even the front line of Tottenham coping in the absence, in the wake of Harry Kane's departure. Now, one thing that thoroughly went against Tottenham in the first game was Brentford defending in like 2 banks of 5, it felt like, for large periods of the game, as well as the other misfortune that went against them, really did nullify the Ange mega press that we've seen from him at Celtic, and we did see the front three quite feebly attempt. But against the back 5, it is basically suicide. There's no space to press into, and if he did get any midfield support coming in, then with the amount of bodies they've got back there, the press, it just runs out of steam very quickly, and it didn't come to anything really in the Brentford match ultimately. But against Man United, who are going to have all their build-up play focused, determinedly focused, to come out from Onana to the likes of Varane and Lisandro Martinez when they're building out from the back here, this is going to be such an interesting dynamic and development to watch, because Ange doesn't change the way he plays football for anybody, and neither does Erik Ten Hag. And like I mentioned in the intro, both teams have got so much to prove that this area of the pitch, this Onana situation basically, is going to be, for me, a huge part of where this match is going to be won and lost. Now, I do feel that the likes of Son, Richarlison and Kulusevski have all individually got the quality to be able to punish mistakes and take advantage of any space and any opportunities that Man United give them. It doesn't need to be high frequency, it just needs to be one for that to happen. And if it happens at the right game state, you know, when it's maybe 0-0 early on in the match, for example, that can really shift the balance of power in the match as the game goes, and that could be the kind of stronghold that Tottenham need to just keep the worry, because the thing with playing out from the back is not just the worry of the individual players or even the teammates or even the crowd, but it's just even the worry when there's a distinct probability that the people you're playing against can actually be the outliers, the ones that you cannot pass around, the ones that you can just not play that style with. And with this being the second game of the season, with a lot of the Ten Hag stuff still being introduced and whatever into the team, this could be a real soft spot and something that Tottenham will look to take advantage of. I thought Mason Mount in the first game was an absolute terrier, getting around everywhere, and I think he's going to be a real nightmare for the likes of Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka, who we did see kind of tucking in at different spells when Man United were off the ball, certainly. And this could be a really big game for him and Yves Bissouma, because Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes, neither of them made a big impression in the Wolves game, but both of them, similarly to Bissouma and Maddison, went everywhere. So I think this is going to be a real battle in midfield in terms of who can actually cover the territory together successfully, because in the build-up play, if we find situations where Mount and Bruno are able to kind of help out when they're building out in these kind of situations here, Maddison can get lost in the press, then all of a sudden these guys, one of the benefits you've got of having Bruno and Mount in these positions is once they are on the ball, playing in tight spaces, hitting out into the wide area, they're both super keen to go up and support the striker, whoever it might be. and, you know, maybe they've not necessarily got the legs to get right up there, depending on where their starting position is. But I do feel that it's when the midfielders get separated in these different possession situations is when the teams look a little bit, you know, out of ideas, and that's when they end up circulating the ball from left to right. They try and find maybe the anchor position, which for Man United is almost always going to be Casemiro, to move it out from one side to another. So whoever can do the best job of keeping their, you know, like playmaker in the sense of Maddison and Bissouma, or Bruno and Casemiro, in terms of getting on the ball, transitioning through play, and, you know, ultimately dictating possession when at all possible, is going to be the make or break of who creates the most chances from open play in this match. And I think Mount and Bruno showed a real good willingness to actually, in the build-up play, once it came out from the goalkeeper, and maybe they've made some triangles and they've built some stuff out from the back here, they were super quick and super keen to get right into these positions here as the play was shifting up the pitch. So I think that could be a really good route to go that we see Man United use, depending on, you know, what side of the pitch we're building up from. It's probably going to be the left rather than the right in these cases more often than not. And depending on this mega press and, you know, like how high up the pitch Tottenham can be caught, you know, again, there's a lot of overload potential here for Man United, and that is probably going to be the main way that they get in at Tottenham from open goal, is when they pull the press right into them, and they need to find those two midfielders together. They need to find Mount, they need to find Bruno, they need to play the ball nice and quickly, find someone out wide, whether it be Sancho or Anthony, and then that move that we've seen early on against Wolves, it didn't persist through the match, but both of them very quickly, as soon as the ball's transitioned, just get in front of the striker and get on the centre-backs. Striker Rashford is in hanging a bit loose, and we might see him pick up these pockets in support of possession to allow these guys to maybe, you know, bounce off for 1-2s or play in with each other. And I don't think the Tottenham defence showed us enough to say that they will be able to cope with that speed and that kind of penetration from the likes of, you know, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, these types of guys, if they are on the front foot and Tottenham are firmly on the back pedal. Emerson Royale is a bit of a hatchet, and I think he will quite quickly get booked in this game. Mickey Van de Ven and Romero, you know, let's see them as a partnership, but I think they're decent enough to not do anything too rash and keep the game definitely competitive. And Destiny Udogie being a bit of a playmaker, inverted fullback in the first match, I think that will continue. And with Wan-Bissaka tucking in, that's probably going to actually suit Tottenham down to the ground and might help them. We're talking about breaking up the midfielders, but that might help them cause a bit more of an overload in here and help just put an extra body in between Bruno and Mount more often. So there's going to be a lot of different, interesting, tactical kind of chessboard moves going across both teams. And you know, left fullback and right fullback mirrored against each other here, tucking inside. Midfielders that are very bombastic and moving around together in a kind of controlling playmaker pair. Then again with a front three that want to receive the ball in transition, get on the front foot and play with each other for, you know, 1-2s, crosses and into the box and that kind of stuff. And again, both teams, very nice mirror image between Maddison and Bruno Fernandes. You've got two very capable set piece takers, and this is a match that really has a little bit of everything. I could sit here right now and say this match is going to be 3 each, because we're going to have every minute of actual football played in this match. And with Ange Postecoglou's mantra of we never stop, that plays right into Tottenham's hands. And with the 5 sub rule, we didn't see it from Ange in the first game, but he's got that trick up his sleeve of he loves just doing a triple sub and just keeping that intensity at 10 out of 10 for as long in the match as humanly possible. So I say it's going to be a very interesting watch for the neutral. I could see it being a high scoring draw quite easily. And yeah, I think I might actually stick with 3-3. It's kind of grown on me the more I think about it. Let me know in the comment section what you think. On screen there now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy, like Man City versus Newcastle preview. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.